Hello and welcome. My name is Paul Todkill, and I'm joined here with Shiz Suzuki from AT&T to talk a little bit about mobile gaming, technology, and how 5G is changing the way we think about mobile esports. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
I'll start broad. With
Okay.
companies like ESL pushing the boundaries of mobile tournaments, we're
Yeah.
hearing a lot more about mobile gaming and esports. How do you feel that mobile is really changing the way we think about gaming?
Yeah, let's just start with some stats. I mean, mobile gaming is set to become a $100 billion business by the year 2022. So that's about half the size of the video game industry. It's quite significant. So that's why it's really exciting and important for us to support tournaments like the ESL Mobile Open, presented by AT&T. It's something that we're really excited about. It really allows for gamers from around the world to come together, play each other, and to be able to win, large prizes and compete on large stages. And that's something that is very unique to companies companies like ESL and what they're able to bring to this area. So it's a really exciting place for us to be with y'all.
I mean, we're super excited to have you here.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it's bringing gamers together, but gamers can be a little opinionated, as we know. We have heard some complaints over the years that it's a little bit tougher to get a compelling experience on a mobile device. But now that AT&T is launching 5G, you're trying to address some of these concerns. Tell me, how are you doing this, especially when it comes to things like cloud computing and augmented reality?
Sure. Our products and services is something that has always enabled and elevated gameplay. It's if you think about 5G, obviously, but AT&T fiber and mobile broadband to the home. But we are really excited, especially around this area of the growth in mobile gaming and obviously technologies like 5G and what it can enable. And it's with 5G, it's not just about the speeds, but there's a little bit of this architecture behind it as well. That's really exciting. It's about how it's built. So when you actually put things like edge compute in the cloud, it starts to allow you a whole different world around when you think about AR, VR, in the future of gaming, right? It's about taking that compute power away from, call it the device that you have in hand, or maybe it's like the goggles that you have, and you put it right up in the cloud. The beauty of that is you think about kind of the future of. You no longer have to power that compute power with a bulky battery pack or like a hard drive space, if you will, and it actually untethers you to be able to have a whole different AR, VR type of experience in the future.
Of course, I mean, you have this phone, this device with you all the
Hmm.
time, but
Right.
it's powerful, but it can only do so much, as opposed to these massive server racks somewhere else that are actually, handling the bulk of this load and processing in the cloud. It's amazing, and you talked a little bit about it, the
Yeah.
speed, the idea of this latency, and I feel like when gamers think about gaming, they really only look at that one number, and that's the
Yeah.
ping, but there's so much more to it than that, especially with 5G and the speeds that it brings.
That's right. We always talk about low latency and high speeds. Latency is super important because it's actually the time that it takes for data to get from point A to point B. And then from speed perspective, it's how much data can you get through in a second. So it's really the multiplier. It's bringing those two together that makes all the difference. It's not just about the ping. It's
It's
more
not,
than
yeah,
that.
it's not exactly. And again, I feel like gamers tend to tunnel
Right.
vision right on that, but there's so much
Yeah.
more going on. And of course, now we're well into season 3 of the Mobile Open. You
That's right.
touched on it earlier. It's this
Yeah.
amazing opportunity, it's experience, and we've seen players rise up and become stars. We've seen teams make a name for themselves. How important is it to companies like ESL and for you at AT&T
Yeah.
to really create that platform where they can show off to the world?
It's really about this democratization of gaming in a lot of ways. I mean, some of what we even love about mobile esports, obviously, it's, you don't have to be able to afford a multi-thousand-dollar gaming rig
Hmm.
anymore or the latest console device. It's really anybody who has a mobile device, and most people have a mobile device, can, for the passion and love of gaming, get on and be able to compete against the best. And I think there is just something so amazing about that, right? And you don't even have to be somebody who has a lot of time. I mean, anybody. If you've got 5 minutes waiting in line at the grocery store, you could be stuck in a commute in the back of an Uber somewhere. And I've heard stories of this actually of pro esports game.
Me, myself.
All
Yep,
right,
I've
there you
done it.
go,
Yeah.
right? And if you are not at home, it's okay. You can get on and you can compete right wherever you are. I think there's something just amazing about that.
Oh yeah, because I love the way you say that, the democratization of it, because it really feels like that. There's such a low barrier to entry because, as you said, it feels like everybody's got this device in their pockets
Yes.
all day. They use it for so many things, and now we're starting to get in their heads that they can use it for gaming as well. And I think a lot of it has to do with events like this here at the ESL Mobile Open. So I want to say another big thank you to you and AT&T for getting involved and helping to show this off to the world, which is so fantastic. So thank you so much for taking the minute to sit down and chat with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
This is the ESL Mobile Open, presented by AT&T.